Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video. And in today's video, I have recorded this like 4 times and I am trying to do it perfectly because I want to show people like what this card can do and just talk about the new Ninja spoiler that came out today, Dishonor. So I want to kind of give background on the card, what it does, what it combos with, and then we'll walk through a play line that I thought of just in the hour that the card's been out. It's definitely a goldfish line, but it's fun. We're TCG players. We love to goldfish. That's like what we do. So let's have some fun with it. But Dragon Shield put out this post yesterday. This is the graphic for it, basically saying that if they got 1,000 retweets by February 23rd, which was 3 days, they would reveal their spoiler card early. They got their 1,000 retweets last night, literally the same day that they put out the post. They got the 1,000 retweets, so they did end up spoiling the card. It is a blue ninja attack action at Majestic. It attacks for 2 normally, blocks for 3, 0 cost, so it can be pitched for Kodachis. And then when comboed, it reads, if Bonds of Ancestry was the last attack this combat chain, it has +2. So it comes in for 4 when it's comboed. Still does not have go again. We'll talk about a way to give it go again here in a second with Breeze Rider Boots. But it also has additional text. When it hits a hero, if you control a Surging Strike, a Descendant Gust Wave, so new card, hasn't been revealed yet, but we're getting one, and Bonds of Ancestry, that hero loses all abilities for the rest of the game. Probably tell me in the comments below if you disagree or if you think there's another card that's more powerful, but I'm pretty sure now this is the single most powerful card printed in Flesh and Blood when it comes to an on-hit or like a singular ability. I cannot think of another attack that has a more powerful ability than this one. It has a lot of conditions. You have to have those three cards, Surging Strike, Descendant Gust Wave, and Bonds of Eternity. You have to control them, which means in terms of Katsu, they're going to have to be on the combat chain. So this is going to be the 4th card in the combat chain, which we'll show how you can get that here in a second. 2 cool things, like side notes, just don't forget about them, that this card kind of shows is 1, there's going to be a Surging Strike reprint in Outsiders, because it says when this hits a hero, if you control Surging Strike, since this is a draft set, that means Surging Strike has to be in this set. Now, whether it's going to be a true reprint or maybe a different art, who knows, but it's going to be in the set. And Descendant Gust Wave, that's the name of the Gust Wave card we don't know about. We don't know what it does yet, so that's how that goes. So it comes in for 4 and it hits. It turns off abilities of the hero for the rest of the game. So if this hits on like turn 2, they have no more hero abilities. Think of the heroes that this affects. Levia cannot turn off Blood Debt. Dorinthia cannot swing with her sword for the 2nd time. Bravo cannot gain Dominate. Arachne cannot mill because he doesn't have Contract, right? Lots of other heroes that this affects, right? A Phi can't go get his Phoenix Flame, right? There's so many heroes that this is going to hurt really bad. I mean, Icelander, Dromai, and Dorinthia might as well just like, I mean, they're especially Dromai and Icelander. Icelander won't be able to play blue cards from Arsenal, won't be able to give you Frostbites, and then Dromai won't be able to give any Dragons Go again. I mean, it's pretty nutty, right? It regularly combos with Bonds of Ancestry, which, if anyone is not aware, Bonds of Ancestry came out during the min-max releases, basically got spoiled. It's normally a 2 for 4, but if it's comboed, it comes in for 2 less, so it's a 0 for 4 with go again. And if you attack with it, you banish a card with combo from your graveyard. If you do, go find an exact copy or with the same name of that card, banish it, then shuffle. You may play this combat chain. So basically, if you have a Dishonor in your graveyard and you play Bonds of Ancestry, whether it hits or not, you banish the Dishonor that's already in your graveyard, then you search your deck for another Dishonor, banish that Dishonor, then you can play it. It's basically how it reads. So going into this is a lot to take in. I want to try to give a play line. Now, this is a goldfish line, obviously, but it's fun. So have fun with it. If anyone thinks of a better line or a better use case, let me know. But I thought that this would be pretty cool to talk about. So I went in Talishar. I screenshot a Talishar screenshot and then put in my own cards just for fun. So hopefully y'all enjoy this. And hopefully it gives a little bit more visual representation. So I have a 5-card hand here with a blue. You can see my equipment suite on the left. I have Pouncing Lynx, which I think is going to be really good in this kind of deck. I have Heart and Cross Trap in this list, which I think with this type of deck, Heart and Cross Trap is going to be a lot more playable. Breaking Scales, obviously, you're going to want that 1000% in this list. And then Breeze Rider Boots, which I think is going to be really key to this deck in a combo plan. In the top left, you kind of see what each action is going to equal, and we'll talk about that as we go through it. So in this use case, I'm honestly going to, I can either pitch the blue to play Surging Strike or Pop Heart and Cross Trap to play Surging Strike. Let's just say we Pop Heart and Cross Trap to play Surging Strike for 5. Most of the time, when you play against people who've played against Katsu consistently, they're gonna let Surging Strike hit because they're just gonna want to block Whelming Gust Wave. Any person who hasn't played against Katsu may try to block out those Surging. The problem is if you block out Surging and I have Whelming in hand, like in this situation, you're basically screwed. Unless you have a lot of efficient blocks in your hand and in your armor. Regardless, most of the time they let Surging hit. So let's say in this case they let Surging hit, which you can see in the top left. If they let Surging hit, you Katsu trigger, which you see it's a Crouching Tiger. But in this situation, Crouching Tiger represents Descendant Gust Wave. Now, the biggest wild card we don't know is, one, we don't know how much Descendant Gust Wave is going to come in for, and we don't know how much it costs. I'm going to assume, just for argument's sake, that it costs 1 because Surging Strike costs 2, Descendant Gust Wave will cost 1, and since Bonds of Ancestry will be free off Descendant Gust Wave or off a Gust Wave, it'll be 2-1-0, similar to how the McGinty line is 2-0-1. I'm just going to say it costs 1 here. So Surging Strike hits, you Katsu trigger, go get a Descendant Gust Wave, and then you mask a Pouncing Lynx trigger, and you go get Dishonor. So here is where it now is shitty for the opponent, and this is why I'm saying, like, most people's argument to Dishonor so far is you don't know, it's never going to hit. They're just going to block it out. They're just going to wait and block out Dishonor so it doesn't have that on hit. It's never going to happen, whatever. This situation right here is where, yes, technically they could wait to block it out, but unless they have all their armor and they have a ton of D-reacts, how much damage are they willing to take before they block Dishonor? Because in this situation, let's just say, for argument's sake, Descendant Gust Wave is a 1-for-4 go again. Pretty on par, a little actually under par for Katsu, but we're just going to say 1-for-4. Could be more. Could be a 1-for-5 like McGinty. Let's say it's a 1-for-4. Surging Strike's going to come in for 5. We're going to Katsu trigger. We're going to go get Descendant Gust Wave. We're going to pop Mask of Pouncing Lynx, go get Dishonor. We're also going to pop Breeze Rider Boots to give all cards with combo go again in case Whelming and Descendant cannot combo together. We're then going to play. So now at this point, we basically we discard the Soul Bead for Descendant, and we went and got Dishonor, banished it. So we still have a 4-card hand. We still have 4 or 5 cards. You play Surging Strike for 5. Then you play Whelming Gust Wave for 4, on hit, go again, draw a card. Or 4 go again, on hit, draw a card. Then you're going to play, let's not talk about blocks yet. Then you're going to play Descendant Gust Wave. Let's say it's a 1-for-4. You pitch the Lord of Wind to play it. So now you've dealt 5, 4, and 4. So you've dealt 13 damage. Then you're going to play the Bonds of Ancestry from Arsenal. That's another 4 damage. So that's 17 damage. Then you're going to play out the Dishonored, right? Then Bonds of Ancestry, wait for it. Let's say Dishonored is already in graveyard at this point. You have 1 Dishonor in graveyard. Bonds of Ancestry can go get another Dishonored, right? Or you can go get another Bonds of Ancestry or whatever, 100 wins, whatever. But let's say in this situation, goldfishing, you can go get another Dishonor because you already have 1 engraved. So you got your 2nd and 3rd Dishonor. You already played 1 and maybe you blocked with 1 early. You go get your 2nd Dishonor with Mounts of Pouncing Lynx, and you go get your 3rd Dishonored with Bonds of Ancestry. So now you have 2 Dishonored. So you played 5 on Surging. You played 4 on Whelming right beside it, on hit, draw a card. You play 1-for-4 pitching the Lord of Wind for Descendant Gust Wave. Then you play a 0-for-4 Bond of Ancestry. Then you play a 4-power Dishonor. Then, oh, by the way, it has go again because of Breeze Rider Boots. You play another 4 Dishonored. And guess what? Dishonored's on hit. It won't get the +2 because you didn't play a Bonds of Ancestry before it. But you do control all 3 of those cards in the combat chain. So it's going to come in for 2 on hit, the same ability. So on this Goldfish turn, we dealt 5 with Surging Strike. We dealt 4 with Whelming Gust Wave. We dealt another 4 with Descendant Gust Wave. That's just guessing how much it's going to be. So that's 13. Then you dealt another 4 with Bonds of Ancestry at 17. Then you dealt another 4 with Dishonor. That's 21. Then you dealt 2 more with Dishonor again. That's 23. So you dealt 23 damage, and you're threatening to turn off their hero for the rest of the game. Oh, by the way, you're also threatening drawing a card off Whelming Gust Wave. So as an opponent, what do? Do you take 17 damage before blocking Dishonor? Do you block out the Whelming, with some cards, and then block out Dishonor with the remaining cards you have? Let's just say the opponent has a 4-card hand with a 2-block armor. They're going to block with 1 card and their armor to block out Whelming, blocking 5 to prevent the Breaking Scales puncture. Then they're going to give up minimum 2 more cards to block out Dishonor the first time, because it's going to come in for 4, threatening Breaking Scales 5. So even if they have a D-react, like they have to give up another card, then they're going to have to block with another card to get up the last Dishonored. Granted, yes, this is a Goldfish play, but this allows you to do a bunch of different things. This is just one line. I do think Breeze Rider Boots is going to be really nice in this list because, again, it'll let you play Whelming into Descendant. We don't even know what Descendant does yet. Descendant to me sounds like a graveyard recursion, personally. Like, it's the opposite of Whelming. Why would you not? It's the opposite of Ascendant, Descendant, right? Maybe it has an on-hit discard effect, like, descending somewhere. I don't know. But that's also assuming Descendant is a 1 cost. If Descendant's a 0 cost, it's an even better line because now I can pitch and do other stuff. So, again, super Goldfishy. I get it. But this shows you, basically with 3 pieces of combo, you can do a double Dishonor play off Breeze Rider Boots. And even if you don't have Bonds of Ancestry, right, in your hand or in Arsenal, you still can go get it. Right? If you have Surging into, let's say this Whelming that you see in my hand right here is a Descending Gust Wave. And I would think Descending Gust Wave is going to combo off Surging. It wouldn't make sense if it didn't. So if you play Surging into Descending Gust Wave, you Katsu trigger, go get Bonds of Ancestry, then you Mask Pouncing Links trigger, go get Dishonor. So you can play the full line out off 2 cards. You technically only need Surging and Descendant to play the full line with Mask Pouncing Links. So if you have a Dishonor Engrave, which isn't that hard to get, especially mid to late game. So again, is it a game-breaking Katsu is now tier 1 deck? No. Is Dishonored always going to hit? No. But what Dishonored is going to do is it's going to put your opponent in a bad place, right? Right here in this situation, the opponent, if they want to make sure they're going to block out Dishonor, they basically have to eat like 13 damage. And in this line, I don't even have a Razor. If that Bonds of Ancestry in Arsenal was a Razor, and then I hit with Surging, go get Bonds of Ancestry, then go get Dishonor with the Bonds of Ancestry trigger later on the chain, and then I pitch that Lord of Wind, right? Like, if you just swap this one line, if you make this Soul Beach, if you make this Bonds of Ancestry a Razor, and you discard the Soul Beach Strike to go get Bonds of Ancestry, and then you use Bonds of Ancestry trigger to go get Dishonor or Mask of Pouncing Links, like, you now can play Dishonor for 7 on hit, turn off their hero. There's just a lot of things you can do with this line. Really cool. The fact that Katsu's already like better with just 2 cards revealed is really fun. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I know I'm rambling. I'm trying to make this video too long or too confusing. Definitely, as you're looking at it, think of better lines that you could think of. You could replace that Whelming with the Descendant very easily. You could do a whole lot of things. Mask of Momentum also is a possibility if you don't even feel like using that trigger. Like, even in this situation, if you don't have Mask of Pouncing Links, you have Mask of Momentum, and that Whelming is the Descendant, you play Surging, it hits, go get Bonds of Ancestry, right? Play out Descendant, play out Bonds of Ancestry. You could do a whole lot of things, right? There's a whole lot of different lines you could do with this. I think Mask of Pouncing Links will be the better play personally when it comes to this kind of line, but we're going to have to see. I think you're going to have a lot of natural card draw with Whelming, a lot of natural card tutoring with Bonds of Ancestry. So I think you're going to be able to honestly do really well even without Mask of Momentum. But let me know what you think. If you disagree, it's totally fine. This is just a fun video, and I'm super excited about the card, so I kind of wanted to ramble for a minute and get y'all's thoughts on it. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed this. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. If not me, it's totally fine. Go to our Flesh Bug career, leave a like, comment, subscribe on their stuff so we can get more people seeing this game. Join the Discord down below if you feel like it. We have a lot of really good people in there, over 350 members now. A lot of good discussion. It's going to be a lot of fun, outsiders. Whether you're a Ninja player or not, doesn't matter. And yeah, hopefully y'all have a good rest of your day, and I'll see y'all next time on TCG Talk. Thank y'all so much.